because you're going to hear a lot about layoffs, you need to have perspective and you need to be prepared. So we're going to cover perspective and preparation right here. The hard reality is that many people are projecting, many economists, and now the media's picked it up because, again, it's just juicy fear, that we are going to head into a likely recession sometime this year, lasting into 2024. There's your consensus opinion right now. How big, how deep, how long, nobody's predicting because they don't know. So what happens is when economists and the media start talking about recession, CEOs, boards of public companies start freaking out and they get the pucker factor. And they start going, oh boy, we better lay some people off so we can juice our profit margins, tighten it up so we keep our stock price where we want to be. That's what they're about. So they treat people like commodities, not people. You are a unit of production. If I lay you off, if I lay this many of you off, we reduce our expenses, position ourselves well for a recession, and keep our stock price high. Folks, I'm not making this up. That is essentially what CEOs and boards of public companies think about. They'll hire you quickly and fire you even faster. Now, don't start doing this whole, I'm a victim, I hate the man. That's not what I'm talking about, but we can be prepared. I'm going to talk to you about how to be prepared for a layoff very tactically. I'm going to get you prepared. But understand why it's happening. It doesn't mean that our economy is going into the depths of despair. It's not at all. All right. So here's another story that's making the rounds. Goldman Sachs. Sorry. Whoa, that was a slip. They laid off a bunch of people. And they are doing exactly what I described. Goldman Sachs, big time company. They're thinking about their position as a financial company. I mean, it's all about branding. It's everything. So they're going, oh, we got to cut. So they kicked off its most brutal round. They've been laying people off for a while, but their most brutal round of layoffs in at least a decade happened this week, sending a lot of their jilted employees to social media because that's what we do now, right? We go to Facebook, we go to TikTok, we go to Instagram, and we bare our souls. So they started around Tuesday and continuing into Wednesday, and it's going to include all in about 3,200 employees. That's a lot. 6.5% of its total workforce is being laid off. Multiple cities around the country. And what happened is that people went to social media to describe how the layoffs happened. And this is just bad bossery, especially from a company that's been around this long that has this many resources. Hardest hit were consumer lending because the housing market has slowed down. That makes a lot of sense. And by the way, it doesn't make Goldman Sachs evil. This is the reality of mortgage lending, that when the housing market slows down, they lay off people. It's not that they laid them off that I take issue with. It's how they laid them off. They didn't talk to them. And the way it was rolled out was even worse. Here's an example of a social post from a consumer banking associate that was laid off. Every 10 minutes, I just kept hearing that someone was being let go. Word was spreading. Here. And they're sitting there going, am I going to get laid off? And they eventually got laid off. That's not dignity. It's not respect. That's the kind of crap that happens at middle schools and high schools. We're better than that, leaders. We should be better than that. Now, the first cuts targeted low performers. Why do I bring this up? You want to increase your chances of not getting laid off in a recession? Maximize your role. Be valuable. You're valuable as a human, yes, but be more valuable as an employee. Crush it. Make yourself indispensable. Where do they go first? Low performers. Culling the herd, I believe is the phrase. Right? What are they doing? Getting out the weak ones, the ones that aren't performing. You know you do have some control in this, don't you? Now, I'm the first one to knock this kind of stuff and poor leadership. But let me also say that you have some responsibility in this and you have some power in this. So low performers. One laid off VP said there was high anxiety and the layoff should have just been done more quietly. It was spreading around. It was rumored that it was going to happen. People were on edge, freaking out. That's not good communication. Leaders, you know what's going on way before the rumors start getting out. Treat people with dignity. Tighten up. Keep a lid on the conversations and then communicate clearly, quickly, concisely, respectfully. That didn't happen. Another associate said for almost a month, we've known something was coming. If they know something is coming, you've known it way before them. Come on, leaders. They go on to say communication throughout this has been very lacking. Rumors rampant, no communication from leaders. Come on. If the employees and the team are hearing the rumors, you leaders are hearing it, you may have started it. Shame on you. Shame on you. So what do you do to be layoff proof? What do you do? Now, I'm part of Ramsey Solutions. I co-host the Ramsey Show, #1 show in the world on personal finance. So how do we prepare for a storm? What do? We go get extra supplies, right? We build a bunker, right? Whatever it is. This is the same deal. How do we prepare for a layoff? First thing is come up with our actual plan. If I get laid off, what would I need? Well, the first thing is you'd need money. So have a 3 to 6 month fund of your expenses so that you don't have to use it all, but you don't have to have a job in the first 2-3 weeks. You've got money. Pay off debt, save up an emergency fund for 3 to 6 months. Second, have an escape plan. Escaping to something else. I've got my resume ready to go. More importantly, it's not about the resume. It's actually about connections. Are you staying in touch with people in your industry? Are you staying in touch with people who have the ability to hire you? Man, you're thinking about it all the time. It's a part of your daily rhythm. Who am I connecting with so that I can call somebody and go, hey, do you know somebody? You got something? Why wouldn't you have this built up? Some people call it a network. Fine. I call it the tree of opportunity. I got a full tree in my backyard with opportunities all over the tree in the form of people, connections, relationships. I've done things for them. They've done things for me. This isn't networking. This is truly connecting. Third thing you got to do is be ready to use those connections. Don't be worried about it and have any pride. People get laid off. It's not a label, it's your reality. That's how we prepare so that when the layoff happens, it's a nuisance, not an emergency.